Alec.
Yes.
All right. It's the end of season 3. If you're new to the channel, be sure to go back. We did reactions to every episode of Black Mirror up through season 3 at this point. We did every episode of season 3, and we're just going to be reviewing the season overall right now.
Yep.
And I've seen all of Black Mirror, but I've been taking Alec along for the first time. All right, so we did reviews of the first 2 seasons. So it'll be interesting where this one came in, because I remember season 1 overall we came in at 8.25 out of 10. Season 2 came in at 8.5 out of 10. And now we're at season 3, which I believe is the most consistent one so far.
I would agree. I would say the quality has definitely the Netflix money has definitely bumped the overall, like, I would say the evened out the quality, because I think the previous seasons had a little bit of ups and downs in terms of how good they typically were.
But as is always the case, it's a challenge to review seasons of Black Mirror because it is an anthology series. Every episode is unrelated by its nature, so it's like you have a mixed bag always. But so the episodes this season were Nosedive, Playtest, Shut Up and Dance, San Junipero, Men Against Fire, and Hated in the Nation.
Yeah.
All right, and I think we were both in agreement that the low bar of the season was Men Against Fire.
Yeah, easily.
And I still think it's better than a couple of episodes, not many episodes of Survivor, but I think
Survivor? You mean Black Mirror?
Black Mirror.
We do Survivor reactions. We actually just got done recording one, so we do have a little bit of Survivor on the brain. So apologies for that.
So yeah, because I think from our rankings we had, it was like one episode of season 2, one episode of season 1, maybe, or no, this was second to last, I think, for us, just above Waldo Moment. Is that right?
Men Against Fire.
Yeah,
I can't remember where
we put it. Right below
exactly
National Anthem. Right above the Waldo Moment at the very bottom.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's close to the lowest we've had so far. So that is a significant low point to note. But we've also had a few of the best episodes.
Yeah,
today.
I think Nosedive, Playtest, even Hated in the Nation, San Junipero. Those are all like a lot higher. I would say like Shut Up and Dance, which I think we had a little bit of a muted reaction to. I still say that's much better than I mean, it was better than, I would say, a very comparable episode of White Bear. I found it more interesting and engaging episode overall. Despite being relatively similar in terms of its like the way I don't want to say the way technology interacts, but it was similar in the tone, where it sort of pulls the rug out from under you towards the end in terms of the reveal.
Well, it's interesting because we've been ranking every episode as we watch it, and we've been lockstep in everything except for the last episode. We had a few episodes difference on Hated in the Nation, where you had it at number 5 below San Junipero. I had it at number 8 below Nosedive.
I think my list
number 9 maybe.
I think my list is about to undergo an overhaul, though. I think. Because as the season has developed, as stuff has gone on, I feel like I may want to reorder stuff a little bit in the middle.
We want to do that now?
I think probably would be a best idea if to continue talking about the season. It's probably going to be best if we do that now. So, for starters, I think Playtest is very much still was very much still my favorite. I think Playtest is right up there.
Yep.
What do I have second currently?
White Christmas, followed by Entire History of You, San Junipero.
I think I probably still have that way. I think White Christmas would be next. So the more I've thought about it, the more I think I really, really loved it. And that's Nosedive.
Nosedive? Oh, so it's coming up like
several
4
ranks.
spots, yeah.
Yeah. It really, the more I've thought about it, the more I really liked a lot of its. I felt like it for kind of critiquing like the current sort of like it did feel like a really effective critique of how like image based and how like its critique of the way technology kind of interacts in our lives sort of felt it was a little over the top, but I felt like it's probably one of the most effective like things that felt almost relatable or applicable today. Even though like again it's like it's funny how like how the toxic positivity of everything I don't know. It's I to me that felt like really it was very effective, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I've thought about it, the more I've really thought back on how much I actually really enjoyed that episode. I've thought about that one like a lot. Um,
Okay.
as time has gone on, I would probably next put San Junipero. Then what do I have sort of next in my
Hated in the
list?
Nation.
Hated in the Nation.
With
I think that
15
one
million
might come down
merits.
a little bit. So I think what might probably come next would be 15 million merits. I'm gonna shock you again. I think I'm gonna put Be Right Back next. And I've thought about that one a lot too.
Things are shaking up.
I'm shaking it up a little bit. I'm shaking it up. I'm shaking it up, Zach. Be Right Back. And then
So you got Hated in the Nation, Shut Up and Dance.
Hated in the Nation will be next. I also want to correct. I believe I looked up and it's more compared to a Nordic noir. It was sort of what that's based on, with this sort of bleak tone like that. That's I guess is actually more what the tone of that is aiming for, which is good. I actually still again I don't. That's not to discredit any of these because all of these are like slamming. Like all of these episodes are really really good. Aid in the Nation. I think next will be what do we still got? I got Shut Up and Dance will be next. Yep.
And you got White Bear, National Anthem, Men Against Fire, Waldo Moment.
Yeah, this is the bottom. I would say this is the bottom tier. I think I'll probably put White Bear next, the National Anthem, then what was it? Men Against Fire, and then the Waldo Moment. So all right, I've shaken it up a little bit, but I feel like this feels to me, the more I've been thinking about it, this feels to me the most accurate assessment of how I feel about Black Mirror so far.
And let's see, what would I do? It's interesting looking at your lists. I don't have problems with much of it. I mean, I could definitely see Nosedive being that high.
Yeah.
I don't think it is as high for me though. I think I will go Playtest, White Christmas, Entire History of You.
Like our top 3 is still the same, which I think is really interesting. Yeah.
Which is it is very interesting. San Junipero, 15 million merits, Nosedive, Shut Up and Dance. I could also consider putting Be Right Back above Hated in the Nation. Yeah, I'll do that. Be Right Back, Hated in the Nation, White Bear, National Anthem, Men Against Fire, Waldo Moment.
All right.
So now our rankings are, I have a Playtest, White Christmas, Entire History of You, San Junipero, 15 million merits, Nosedive, Shut Up and Dance, Be Right Back, Hated in the Nation, White Bear, National Anthem, Men Against Fire, The Waldo Moment. And yours are...
So mine, as it stands currently, Playtest, White Christmas, Entire History of You, Nosedive, San Junipero, 15 million merits, Be Right Back, Hated in the Nation, Shut Up and Dance, White Bear, The National Anthem, Men Against Fire, and The Waldo Moment. I think it's interesting because I think our top 3 and our final 3 are like the same.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of leeway in there, but I feel like we have very similar. Like, despite the fact that there was a little extra, we had a little extra play in the middle. I think it's still fairly similar, which is again interesting. I've seen so many wildly different takes on rankings, and again, I'm not looking forward to like reactions or people say about new episodes, but I do like to look at the Wikipedia articles of each episode and sort of see what people generally say about them. And so many, they have wildly some. I've seen people like really not like Playtest at all, and I was just like, it seems to me like it skews a little higher, but like tends to be more mid tier, and I just that to me is fascinating because it's like the episode's fantastic. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
really I looked at back to
very
back.
scary.
I looked at back to back rankings of Black Mirror episodes. One had Hated the Nation number one. One had Hated the Nation last.
Yeah, it's
Like,
that's crazy. Yeah,
but I love that. I think that that's the beauty of it. I think that shows you
I
have
think
something a good show.
I think I agree. Because again, it is an anthology series, so there's going to be different episodes that speak differently and more powerfully to different people as well. I
Mm.
think. I mean, I think it's nigh universal. People don't tend to really like the Waldo moment very much. I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say universal because I think there's some people that have come to appreciate it as time has gone on a little more, but it never skews higher than maybe halfway up anyone's list, at least from what I've
Min-
seen in numbering.
Men Against Fire
Um,
is probably similar too,
yeah,
and then White Christmas tends to be at the top for all of
yeah,
them.
it's really good.
Um,
That's a
it'll
really
be
good
really
episode.
interesting to see once we're done. We're quite a ways away, but once we're done all the episodes, we do a tier list of
Mm,
everything. See where we can like settle on actually putting things like S or A,
yeah,
the differentiating that.
for
Especially
sure.
seeing because there's a lot of season 4 that I really love that is like making me question things like would I put White Christmas above that? I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see where how the rankings will go.
Mm,
But yeah, so centering back on season 3. All right, so what episodes we got in here? So season 3 is our number 1
mm-hmm.
has for you it has number 4, number 5, number 8, number 9, and then number 12.
Runs the gamut,
So it's
I guess
all
you could
okay
say.
all over because mine's not too different. So it'll be tough, but look, it's funny because I think even Shut Up and Dance, I really liked. I really like Shut Up and Dance, and
Yeah, me too.
that's
Actually,
7 episodes in. That's like right in the middle of them all,
yeah,
you know. And I
and
still
I
think
have it
that's like top tier almost.
and I have it towards the low, but like to me, it's in the lower end. It's at the leading the
Right
bottom
above,
five, I
yeah.
guess. But to me, I think that just speaks to the overall quality of all the other episodes that we've watched.
Mhm.
Um, because like I also I it's dark and I feel like that may have skewed it a little bit more on my end. I almost felt like I had maybe more of a when we were watching it, I feel like I had more of a positive reaction than it seems that I'm indicating now. But overall, I did think the episode was really good, very well acted. Twist at the end was really like it was something that I was kind of feeling towards the beginning was might be the twist, and it was. But like overall, it had a very bleak view of humanity that felt like right for Black Mirror, you know,
Mhm.
and like it didn't feel as it's kind of wild that it didn't feel as over the top bleak because I think so much of the episode was kind of grounded in it was like sure a hacker group or whatever, but it felt scarily plausible for a lot of it. And I think that's kind of what made that episode as effective as it was.
I don't even know
Yeah, mine
how
are
to go about dissecting.
yeah.
Because to me, I'll just say, because we're gonna have to give it a score. I
Mm.
gave both season 1 and season 2. I gave 8.5 each. You gave season 1 8, and you got season 2 8.5. So my deliberation is whether I stick with 8.5 or go to 9. That's really what I'm between.
I think I think despite the ups and downs of my list, I think like I've said, the overall quality has shifted upwards. I think we don't have yes, we do have Men Against Fire, but like we don't also have like the Waldo moment in here. Like we don't have anything that's that Men Against Fire was dull. Um but we also have the highest highs and the most consistently high rated episodes of the show so far, with Nosedive of San Junipero up there for me, as well as Playtest, which is again my favorite episode so far.
Mm-hmm.
Hate in the Nation, Shut Up and Dance, they're mid lower on my list, but I still feel like I have overall much more positive things to feel and say about them.
Yeah,
it's real tough.
and I do think it deserves credit for having uniquely, like every episode is very unique in presentation. You know, you go
Oh
from
sure,
nosedive to playtests to shut up and dance to San Junipero. They're all doing very different things in each one.
very
It's
different thing. Yeah,
tonally and
they're yeah. I mean, so like Shut Up and Dance is sort of tech light, where something like Nosedive is extremely heavy on the technology sort of thing. Like that's like the main driving force of that episode. Um, San Junipero is like a throwback story, but also they then it's like a sci-fi elements in it as it's introduced later on as well.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Playtest is so cool. It's
yeah,
so
but
horror and
yeah,
also
it's
a lot of
just
technology mixed in.
for sure. Like Megan's Fire almost felt like old Black Mirror kind of in terms of its like the implementation of the sci-fi kind of technology issue, and then like the I guess the sort of gotcha. It did feel very much more. I guess it felt more like the older seasons than the newer ones did.
I
I don't
will
know if there's
say
any
way
reason
more
for that per
cum and
se,
way
but
more nipples than we've ever seen in any Black Mirror episode,
I,
though.
I mean, we joked, was there going to be smash cut to sex like in this? Like that was the episode that felt like it would be the most appropriate in that one,
Mm-hmm.
which is a joke we had made in previous episodes or previous seasons of Black Mirror because there's always one episode that did that at least. Yeah, it's tough. I'm like in between. Like I want to give this. I feel like I want to give this a 9, but I don't know if it's. That's like if there was ever an in between ranking that I could give, this
It's
would
so
probably be
tough.
at the 8.75. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not sure.
So
I
we,
think I'm.
yeah. I was gonna say if we like, I would be interested to see what our scores were if we'd been giving scores like every single episode separately,
Mm,
and how that would average out. You know, because I can't imagine. Hmm. Just thinking of like 8.5 and up. I feel playtest is easily over 8.5. Shot Up and
yeah,
Dance, arguably 8.5 or 8 probably. San
yeah, probably like an 8
Junipero,
on that one, or maybe
probably
7.
8.5. Men
Yeah,
Against Fire, lower. Hated in the Nation, 8.
that's still like an 8, 8.5 for me. Probably still. Yeah, I don't know. It's like again, I just have. It's all pretty positive. Playtest is like a 9, 9.5 though for me. That one was like really great.
But yeah, we have to look at like, is there something that is it truly set itself apart from the other two seasons, or is it comparable overall?
Yeah, I like
Um,
recency bias. Yeah, I sort of have to put that into temperaments too, or temp. That has to be a play too. I have to think.
this is so hard. I actually
Yeah,
never been this torn about any decision in my life ever. This much.
ever, never before. I always jump in, but not for rating Black Mirror. I think I'm gonna stick at an 8.5. I think for me, I think overall the general quality has increased overall. Um, but I still think it's still right at that level of very good, maybe not always as consistently perfect. Which I mean, nothing ever is. It's an anthology series. How could you be? Um, it's tough. I have a hard time going higher than that for this.
It feels bad though. Like I want to give
Mm,
8.5 to every season. You know, it's kind of
I
lame,
know.
but
It is
uh,
lame.
it's like our rating system isn't nuanced enough.
Yeah.
But we're at the point where we're so far in, we have to just keep it consistent. And we can say that this 8.5 is weighted heavier than the other 8.5s,
Maybe
but
we'll say it's a 9. I maybe I can give it. I could. Thinking about it that way, I could give it a 9.
it would be interested to look at other things we've rated nines, see like is
Yeah.
it comparable.
It's hard because it's this TV season where it's an anthology TV season.
I did rate Halloween Town an 8.5.
Is it comparable to Halloween Town?
Seems like a slap in the face. It's 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for me.
If I stick with an 8.5 and you give it a 9, that gives it an incrementally higher rating than the last
But
season.
it's
So
morally reprehensible to rate trying to average it to how you want it to be.
It's true. So I will too. I will also give it a 9.
Thank you, my
So
brother, joining
yeah.
me on hand in hand. All right,
Yeah.
Tarqaron
Again,
score 9 out of 10.
it's goofy and tough to try to rate a season of an anthology TV series.
Hmm.
But yet here we are. We don't have to play by the rules here
But I
at,
feel like
at
it's
Tarkon.
it hit like every like so many different things. It's like it's hard to expect that much more.
Right.
You know, just
Yeah. Like I'm.
as a little preview, I might think season 4 is better, but there are also a couple episodes I would say are probably weaker than the season that I can think of. So I feel like that season might be around
Mm,
8.5 range too. Who knows?
mm.
Um,
We'll just have to see when we get there. But we have
but yeah, this
other stuff to get through before we do that.
yeah. So we're gonna be taking a break from Black Mirror for a few months, probably around 3 or 4 months, depending on how consistently we get the episodes out on time. We'll be doing a season of Survivor, and then we'll be coming back for season 4 of Black Mirror, which is 6 more episodes. All right, and I really look forward to it. But yeah, I feel like this season deserves kudos for. I do think it is a step up from previous seasons, and
Yeah.
it's worth acknowledging. I do also hear the criticism that some people have that it's like it doesn't have like the same little bit of British charm that the first 2 seasons did, because it did
Mm.
have that Netflix a little bit of change in tone there. But
I think that's what
overall,
Shut Up and Dance does pretty well. Shut Up and Dance does have the
mm-hmm.
Britishness in there, I think. Hated in the Nation to a degree as well.
No, the you love her accent.
Oh my gosh, yes I do. I very much.
But yeah, it just Nosedive as also has a killer acting performance too. I think
Hmm.
I love a good monologue in Black Mirror too. Just
Yeah.
like 15 million merits
15 million
style.
minutes. Nosedive is like the most heartbreaking because like you want her to have the most killer comebacks at everyone, but it's just so sad because she can't.
Hmm.
And it's like it's so great. It's really yeah,
And then Playtest is
absolutely.
so brilliantly written,
Hmm.
and I love it conceptually. I love it and how it was executed. Shut Up and
And
Dance
it is
makes you feel things,
yeah.
like it makes you uncomfortable in that Black Mirror style. San Junipero turns everything on its head, you know.
It's the most happy and like almost out of place with everything else on the
Hmm.
list, but it's like it weirdly makes you feel good at the end of it.
There's also so much like discussion, conversation you can get out of that too. I generally want us to do like a video sometime talking about
Mm,
like would is San Junipero, would that be a good thing, or
mm.
would you go to San Junipero, that kind of thing. I think it's a fun discussion to have. Men Against Fire like gave me more cum than I ever knew that I wanted. So
Never say that again, please. It was very weird. It was a very
um,
weird
but
episode.
I genuinely like, yeah, we it wasn't one of our favorites, but I still had a lot of fun
Yeah.
watching it. If you watch our
Oh,
reaction back,
sure.
we were having a lot of fun with
Yeah, we did have a lot of
it.
fun. It's true.
And then Hated in the Nation. Um, I think they did a lot. I mean, just purely production wise, a lot of that was so
Mm,
well done. Like
hmm.
cinematography, music, which we emphasized how much we loved that, and
Yeah.
then just the eerie, the whole vibe of how that technology worked in that too. And we talked about when we watched Playtest how it's like this is the first one where we had like death. It's like the
Yeah.
main one where we had death at the time. Our main character went through death, but then Hated in the Nation gave us just an overwhelming amount of death. You know, it's like
Yeah.
387,000 casualties.
Right. Yeah. There's all kinds of there's yeah death kind of in this is actually yeah there was more like killing in this season because Men Against Fire had like murder.
Hmm.
Because there's like a little bit here and there hinted at or there's involvement in some of the plots, but never like front and center as it was in this season.
Because it's
So
usually like life ruining stuff, right?
yeah,
It's like, oh man, where's my life at now at the end of this Black Mirror episode?
yeah,
But actually, lives being lost in the season.
yeah, yeah.
So great season,
Good
great
stuff.
time.
Good stuff.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching and sticking with us if you were with us for the season. If you haven't seen them, go back, check out our reactions to all the Black Mirror episodes are in the playlist. And in the meantime, what video would you recommend our viewers watch next?
Go check out our review of Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
I love Midnight Mass.
It was a great show. Great show.
That's how you know you have excellence. Because I came into that one, I was like, there was no doubt in my mind. I laid that fat number on the line because I just knew it's like it was a 9.5 for me.
Yeah.
You know, there was no debate in that one.
There's no debate, no debating. It was good. It's a great show. Great show. I'd easily watch it again. Very good show.
All right, so go check that out. If you haven't watched that show, I mean, come on.
Watch the show.
It's hard to even describe without giving too much away, but it's it's a horror-esque series from Mike Flanagan, who is the creator of Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor. So check that out.
I need to go watch some of his movies too. He Gerald's Game. He actually did Doctor Sleep. I think was done by him. But some of the earlier 2010s, we had like Oculus, and there's another one earlier before that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely still want to check out a lot of his filmography at some point. So
And we'll be talking about another Mike Flanagan thing very soon. So
very soon, you'll have to look forward to that. Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. Like the video, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, and click the links in the description for our social media. All right.
All right.
Come.